Hey everybody, what's happening? It is Monday, May 8th, and this is our final memory verse for the school year. Oh, don't act so sad, but I'm excited for this verse. I'm excited for this opportunity to be the one who gets to speak and kind of break this verse down. So as we come through this, just hang in there with us. I want you really to listen and see what you can take out of this. And so as we move into this week's verse, our trait for this week is to be virtuous. And virtuous is one of these fancy words that we say that we use to describe someone's character. And so basically what it means to be virtuous, if you look it up in the dictionary, it's going to say a person having aspects of virtue. And of course, as an English teacher and as any teacher, we don't like you using the word to describe the word. So when you have virtue, basically you are a person of moral excellence. And now tell me that's not the very definition of what we are called to be as Christian. We are called to be people of moral excellence. And so that's what this verse is talking about. And so let me go ahead and get into the verse and break down a few things. So the verses this week is coming from Philippians. It's chapter 4, verses 8 and 9. And they go like this. It says, "And now, dear brothers and sisters, one final thing. Fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. Keep putting into practice all you learned and received from me, everything you heard from me and saw me doing. Then the God of peace will be with you." One cool thing about Scripture, sometimes the Scripture says exactly what needs to be said. And it's not much more breaking down or unpacking or going deeper or massaging or taking a better look at it that we need to do. If you read this and keeping in mind that it has to do with us having excellent moral character and being of excellent moral character and virtue, that's exactly what we need to do. And so it says at the end there, it says, keep putting into practice what you learned from me. So this letter right here, this is Paul. This is Paul on his second missionary journey. And he is speaking to the Philippian people, the people of the town of Philippi. And the Philippian church and Paul formed a really close and loving relationship. And Paul encouraged them, and the people of Philippi encouraged Paul. And they actually reached out to him when he was in jail. And they actually tried to collect bail money. And they went to go see him, and they sent letters to him. And so Paul had a special affinity for them. And as he had an affinity for them, a love for them, the church began to grow. And so now we have this powerful church, and then Paul is talking to them, and he's writing a letter to them. And he wants to encourage them to continue to grow. He wants them to grow in moral excellence. And he tells them basically to think. And if we look at the part of this verse, it says, fix your thoughts, think, fix your thoughts on what is true and honorable and right and pure and lovely and admirable. Think about things that are excellent and worthy of praise. So Paul knows the power of the mind. So we know that if we think good thoughts, we're going to say good things. Paul knew that if we think good thoughts, that we will act accordingly. If we think good thoughts, that is who we are going to be. And so right now, I want to ask each of you, are you a person of virtue? I want to ask you, are you someone who is trying to be a person of virtue? Because we can work with you, and we're willing to work with you if we see evidence of you attempting to be a person of virtue. Or are you a person who's a rabble-rouser or a naysayer, someone who just goes against the grain for the sake of going against the grain? Are you one who gets in trouble just to get in trouble? Are you the one who has to say something just to say something? Are you the one who has to make a smart aleck comment just for the sake of it? Well, if you are that person, stop it. Scripture says to you, fix your thoughts on what is true. Fix your thoughts on what is admirable. Fix your thoughts on what is honorable. Fix your thoughts on what is right and pure. Fix your thoughts on what is lovely. That's what I need you to do. And that's what your teachers need you to do. And that's what your grown-ups at home need you to do. So if you're that person who does it just to do it and says it just to say it, no matter No matter what feelings you hurt or anything of the sort, stop it. That is not what you are called to do. You are called to be a person of virtue. And if you don't believe me, it's right here in this week's verse. So I'm excited about this verse. I want you guys to be excited. More importantly, I want to challenge you. Don't just forget this after this. Don't just remember the verses just enough to get whatever grade you need to do in Bible classes. I want you to really, really, really go back over your verses. Excuse me. Go back over your verses and find the one that works for you. And if you need one, start with this one. Fix your thoughts on what is admirable and what is true. So that's it for this week. That brings a conclusion to all of our memory verses. But like I said, don't stop. Don't let this be the end of your scripture memorization. Go back over the verses and find 2 or 3 that are yours. And start with this one if you need somewhere to start. Because if you start with this one, I think everything else will start falling into line. And then let's really go out and try and be people of virtue. And let's fix our thoughts and our hearts and our minds on what is pure and what is true, so that we can go out and we can be the shining light that God has called us to be. So that's it. Have an awesome day. Have a great week. Finish off your year strong. And Fairfield, we will see you guys at Discovery Kingdom. God bless you guys. Thanks a lot for listening to me every other week. And hopefully we can keep this up in the future. But God bless you guys. Bye.